Gleich mal gucken mit dem Sound. So. Gameplay schwierig. Story einfach normal, schwer, Benutzer definiert. Hardcore-Modus. Inhaltswarnung. Du siehst gleich eine Inhaltswarnung mit massiven Spoilern. Kuschelflausch. Was zur Hölle ist Kuschelflausch? Ja, mal meine abendliche Runde joggen. Bis gleich. Viel Spaß, Lenny. Ich weiß nicht, was Kuschelflausch ist, aber gut. Das sind die DLCs hier übrigens, die es gibt zu dem Game. Aber wir spielen jetzt einfach mal Live-Kampagne. So. Erlebe die Geschichte ohne Hektik. Mechaniken der Nichtübertragung sind deaktiviert. Die Zuschauer sind sehr nachsichtig. Intern. Ansager. Ein ausgewogenes Erlebnis. Mechaniken der Nichtübertragung und Zuschauerquoten sorgen für eine angemessene Herausforderung. Das Rauschen nervt hart. Ja, ich finde es auch gerade richtig anstrengend, diese Hintergrundgeräusche. Ich mache jetzt einfach mal das Empfohlene.
That's all coming up on tonight's National Nightly News.
Okay. Tag 1. Die Wahl. Nach rechts.
Hi David, I have a call for you. I'm just putting it through. All right, mate.
Ich muss mich kurz ein bisschen nach oben packen, damit ihr den ganzen die ganzen Untertitel seht.
Dave here. Listen, I know you've only come
Oder
in
auch
to
nicht.
clean up the place, but I've got a bit caught up, so you're gonna have to run the news tonight. Now, don't worry, it's not hard, and I'm gonna stay on the phone and help you. First, I'm gonna give you a quick tour of the broadcast room, so if you're not doing it already, look forwards towards all those screens. Right, look up at the top. That coloured bar is your audience. You want to keep the viewers going
Das hier.
up and not down. Underneath that, you've got the screens. The one on the right is the broadcast screen. That's what the viewers are seeing at home. It's only a couple of seconds behind the master screen there in the middle. That's the one you control. Now, the four small screens on the left show the different signals coming from the studio. And you can choose between them using the numbered buttons.
Seht ihr es nicht? Ist hinter meiner Kamera, da ist einfach nur 1, 2, 3, 4.
Don't worry. I'll talk you through it and you'll pick it up in no time. Now, have a look to your left. These plugs control everything in the studio. I've left them set up for you, so provided you haven't fiddled with them, all you have to do now is throw the master trip switch and we're in business. Once you've got the power on, face the front again. You can see on the broadcast screen that we're in the end titles for the show before us. Fortunately, they go on for fucking ages, so there's plenty of time for me to explain. Oh, right, okay, they're over, so we haven't got long now till the broadcast. Right, quickly, mate, look down under the desk. You can see a load of videotapes on the left. They're your adverts. Pick any three and load them into the machines on the right. When you've done that, look up to the front again.
Trainieren mit Hemsleeves, der verrückte Nail. Besuchen Sie Bumley, Alan James, mein Salat-Wochenmagazin. Maler. Besuchen Sie Bumley und Alan James.
When you get the signal, select screen 1 with the vision mixer and we're ready to go.
You know, seafood makes me go out in pustules.
Yeah, thought it might increase our viewing figures.
Every day. You offer me prawns every day.
10 seconds, everybody. It's how I show love.
You're trying to kill me.
And yet you persist, going in 5, 4.
But now, it's time to join Jeremy Donaldson.
Good evening. I'm Jeremy Donaldson. Our main stories tonight.
Okay, we're all good. Next is going to be the throw to the news titles on screen 2. There'll be a countdown, but I'll count you in as well. Just relax, mate. It's all gravy.
Buys Honest Andy's Totally Independent and corners the flowered market. Top chat. Sports fans everywhere celebrate as popular footballer Johnny Hamsleeves wins Sports Personality of the Year. And a spoonful of sugar. Megan will be chatting with movie star Lawrence Blunderclatch about his new movie, The Medicated. And, of course, we'll be going live to Advance headquarters to hear what the leaders of this fledgling party have to say on their historic...
Right, button 2 in 3,
2, 1.
now,
Go!
lovely, mate.
Lovely! Geboren fürs Fernsehen.
To Jeremy with button 1 when that globe in the middle shrinks down and vanishes. Here it comes. Switch to screen 1. Now, lovely, mate.
First, the votes are in, and it's a decisive win for Advance.
We often get a bit of interference around this time, mate. Keep your eye on the machine at the bottom right. Use that slider that's flashing or your scroll wheel to move the wave up and down, keeping the green bit in the white bit.
But critics have accused him of a severe lack of actual policies and of being deliberately
Aber warum muss ich das machen?
opposition parties have all conceded defeat to Advance's overwhelming
Was ist das hier für eine Welle?
to appear publicly. However, former Home Secretary
Right, it's going well. All you've got to do now is play the advert at the end of the segment. Make sure you don't play it too early or we'll all get fired. Now, the clock at the top is counting you down to the advert. When it reaches 0, press one of the 3
Hier
play
rechts.
ad buttons over there at the bottom right. I normally play the first one at the first break and so on, but you can play them in any order you want. I'll count you into it as well, but keep your eye on the clock.
to hear the co-leader's acceptance speech.
And 3, 2, 1, advert.
1 minute back, everybody. Jeremy, I need you to fill after the ads.
What? Why?
Wanker Snatch is running late. Oh, I thought I'd ask him about...
Stimmt, nochmal extra lauter machen, gucke ich bei der nächsten Gelegenheit dann.
That's the same policy we use with you. I thought that was our little secret. It's all right, he doesn't remember anything I tell him.
I'm deeply uncomfortable with your burgeoning friendship.
Love you too.
Yeah.
Signalwelle, okay.
Wicked. We've made it to the first ad break. You're doing great, mate. But this is where it starts getting a bit trickier. This next sequence is what we call a multicam sequence, because you're going to be cutting between multiple cameras to keep things interesting. A lot of it's down to personal taste, but here's 3 good rules of thumb. 1. Try and keep the shot on whoever is doing the talking. 2. Don't stay on the same shot for too long, 10 seconds at the most. So if you're on the person who's talking, try and throw in the odd reaction shot or pull out to the wide shot for a bit, just to keep it interesting. 3. Don't stay on reaction shots for too long. A couple of seconds is usually enough.
Ja, jetzt kommt Interview.
I just want to see who's doing the talking, yeah? Stick to these rules and you'll be fine. It's not as complicated as it sounds. You've seen programs on television.
Mache die einfach nach.
Like those. Might as well get screen 1 selected now. No need to wait for the broadcast to start. Try and stay ahead, mate.
Quiet in the studio. Thank you so much.
Stress.
10 seconds, everybody.
This exclusive offer is available for a limited time.
Going in 5, 4, 3.
Welcome back to the National Nightly News. Later, we'll be hearing from shock election winners Advance. But first,
Get ready to go to Megan on screen 4.
is here with a star of both stage and screen. Megan?
Thank you, Jeremy. Megan Wolfe, culture correspondent. And today I have a guest who starred in everything from Shakespeare...
Right, go to Blunderclatch on screen 3 when she says his
joined
name.
today by none other than Lawrence Blunderclatch. Thank you so much for coming on.
Oh, my dear, I do hope you believe me when I tell you that being with you here today is a moment...
Switch to 2 for the wide now.
May I say, having you here with us is among ours.
Right, now just try and stay on whoever's talking.
Your latest movie, which is called The Medicated.
The Medicated? Yeah.
Wow, what was that like?
Well, as I said to Peter at the Rat, that's Peter Jensen, the director.
Give us a look at Megan's reaction. Lovely. Now back to Thunder Twat.
I've worked with him on several movies, all terribly successful. I said to Peter, what a wild ride this has been. And do you know what, Megan? I really meant that.
Wow, that is fantastic. And am I right in saying that the character you play in this movie is quite an academic one?
Absolutely right. A scientist.
Was that a challenge at all?
What exactly are you implying? But seriously, yes, you're right. It was a complete departure from my last starring role when I played Sergeant Brock Rockman in Bullet Man. You'll remember that was a true story.
Been on that shot a bit long.
Soldiers fight for a love that surpasses all others.
Reden so lange.
Of course, for freedom. I think it's grossed over $1 billion, but honestly, who's counting?
It's a role that saw you scoop 2 Best Actor awards, if I remember correctly.
It's so sweet of you to mention it, but I really am not in it for the awards, although those 3 little statues do take pride of place on my mantelpiece.
With all the others, I'm sure. So, if you're not doing it for the awards, what is it then that drives you?
That is a beautiful question, Megan, and not easy to answer. Like you, I'm afraid. Cut me, and I will bleed. And often, that's how it feels, doesn't it? Doesn't it? Bleeding.
Remember the 10-second rule.
Suffering for one's audience. I suppose in the end, I do it for the difference it makes. I do it for the people that I inspire. The little people. But most of all, I think I do it for the positive change that I can bring about in the world.
And today, of course, we're in for some real change, it looks like, in the coming few months. What do you make of this historic election result?
Oh, well. Well, now you're asking. Historic election result. Indeed. Historic is the word. Well, it's difficult, isn't it? Very difficult. But I think I've always been quite clear that when it comes to politics, that one should always strive to not fuck things up.
Shit, he swore. Oh, well, don't worry, he won't do it again. Shit, he did it again. Okay, don't panic. I'll explain how to deal with swearing at the break.
Medicated, which opens next week.
Right, they've swapped the shot of Jeremy on screen 1 for a VT of the movie clip. You'll get a countdown on the screen, but I'll just let Megan cue you in.
My character, Dr. Lance Hemlock, is faced with a decision that could affect humanity's very survival.
Exciting stuff. Let's take a look.
Mein Gott, ist das stressig.
Studio, but we ain't got time for that. There's more interference coming. It's a bit trickier this time, mate. Use that little flashing joystick to the left of the knob, or hold down your middle mouse or Alt on your keyboard, and as the frequency changes, match it to the white bit by dragging right. Get the speed right. Now we're going to squash the frequency back by dragging left.
Warte. Das gleich.
It'll do for now. Next we're going to change the amplitude. Same as last time. Little joystick or hold Alt or middle mouse, and this time push upwards. Upwards, mate, upwards.
But I didn't listen.
Doctor,
I'm drowning, Lance, you said.
you need to see this.
Right, now let's match it back by going downwards.
The virus. The sterility. This formula, this is the key.
Stop it all.
Yes!
Frankly, mate, you're lucky to still be on the air. Maybe get some practice in.
We have to ask ourselves.
Mein Gott, ist das stressig. Tut mir leid, dass ich so fokussiert bin.
Play another ad. Remember to use the clock at the top to count you in.
Aber es ist gar nicht mal so einfach.
Right, I guess I better explain how to deal with bleeping out swear words. As you've probably probably notice the broadcast screen here is about 2 seconds behind the master screen here. When someone says a naughty word, the bleep button lights up,
Hier
like
unten.
this. 2 seconds later, you'll hear that swear word going out on the broadcast, and you need to hold down the bleep button or the space bar on your keyboard for as long as the
Yeah.
swear word lasts. It can take a bit of practice getting used to hearing 2 things at once. Just stay calm and you'll get it. And if you can't tell when to bleep, just above the button, you'll literally be able to see the sound scrolling by. All you gotta do is hold it down while the red bit is over the red line. Simple. Of course, if you do it by eye, you'll have to take your eye off the screens. That's why real professionals do it by ear. Most people like to have the volume of the broadcast screen a little bit below the master screen. Let's set it now. As you turn it up, you'll hear the advert getting louder. Good. You're set to start censoring. Like I say, it takes a little practice, but I'll try and help you through it, and soon we'll have you bleeping like a pro. Remember, button lights up, count 1, 2, and hold it down.
Only 85 minutes from the coast and with more than 2 areas.
Okay. 2 Sekunden Zeit, um zu
Select screen 1 now that you've got the feed.
zensieren.
For the broadcast to go live. That's too late. You can use the number buttons on your keyboard, 1 to 4.
Running the country. Seriously?
We've had worse. 5, 4, 3.
Welcome back. And I'm told we can now go live to Advanced Headquarters, where the 2 leaders, Peter Clement and Julia Salisbury, are about to make their acceptance address.
Oh shit, he's pissed.
Shall I
Get
start?
ready to bleep.
Go for it.
Oh nein.
Okay, well, thank you all for coming, and, well, where do I start? What a day.
They said we
Audience
couldn't
skip
do
board,
it.
They
mate.
certainly did.
They used every dirty,
Mix it up a bit,
low-down,
eh?
lying,
Oh,
southern
God.
bastard trick they had against us. But you, the people,
Nice.
you saw right through their shite.
I'm sorry about the language there.
Sorry about that. I've had a couple of celebratory pints. Makes me coarser than a granny's fanny.
Memorably put.
Nailed it.
But to be honest, who can blame Peter for celebrating? Throughout the campaign, you've heard us say that Advance are not a political party. A party is what you have when things are going well. When the country is suffering, you don't need a party. You need a team. A team that can change things. But today is day 1 of a new future. A better, fairer future. So perhaps we should all be celebrating.
Except for the rich. For them, the party's over. They shouldn't be celebrating. They should be putting their shitting pants on and opening their dusty checkbooks.
Again, colourfully put, but not inaccurate. Before we came out here to address the nation, we used our executive powers to pass the Assets and Wealth Act. Working with the tax office, we have produced a definitive list of every person in the country with wealth into the millions.
You know the sort. Probably you rather you don't. Because the likes of you and me are not welcome in their gated communities.
Tomorrow, we will be introducing a sweeping reform of the tax system in this country. No more hiding wealth offshore, no more trust funds or creative accounting. A simpler, fairer, unavoidable
Give us a
set of tax
reaction
laws.
shot.
So all you bastard public school snobs have got nowhere to hide.
Perfect.
And earlier today, we revoked your passports. You want them back? You want to leave like you threatened before the election? That's fine. But first, you're going to pay up. You're going to pay back.
Advance are going to turn this country from a nation of warring individuals into a team. To properly fund health and education. To raise the living standards of us all.
The pundits said we'd have to raise billions. But you'll see when we've reclaimed what's ours, that's absolute ferret shite. So to you posh twats,
The people who pay you a pittance to serve them drinks in their private clubs. The people whose children you raise.
so they've got time to get even fucking richer.
Advance have this to say to you.
It
Nice.
ends today.
We are coming for your sports cars and your mansions and your vineyards.
It ends today.
We will put the wealth of this country back where it should have always been. In the hands of the people who created it.
It ends today.
Yes, it ends today. And tomorrow, we'll start making it fair again. Just like we promised we would.
And until then, ladies and gents, I suggest we all get pissed.
I can't argue with that. Thank you for your time.
Okay.
Well, an interesting acceptance speech there from the leaders of Advance. And our apologies for the fruity language. Hopefully we got that bleeped out for you in time. If not, someone's going to be in trouble. So, as the country braces itself for new government, that's all from us this evening at the National Nightly News. We'll be back tomorrow with full coverage of the first day under Advance. I'm Jeremy Donaldson. Have a peaceful night.
Right, looks like you've got it now. Thanks for all the help, mate. I've got to go. Ferry's about to leave. Probably won't be coming back. Job's yours, mate. Good luck.
Boring politics then.
This is some weird fever dream. Am I?
Ich hab den Job, glaube ich, Leute.
You should be so lucky. I'll see you tomorrow night.
Not coming for a drink?
No, got a date.
Lucky you. Try not to get murdered.
Übertragung abgeschlossen. Herausforderungsraum freigeschaltet. Let's go. Mach die Musik mal ein bisschen leiser. Vielleicht kann ich dann ein bisschen lauter machen. So, vielleicht. Ich habe wirklich keine Ahnung, was hier passiert, aber es ist sehr spannend. Ich finde es auch total spannend. Okay, gut. Ich hatte schon Angst, dass wenn ich so konzentriert bin und ich nicht so viel dabei reden kann, dass es für euch eigentlich total langweilig ist. Aber es passiert so viel gleichzeitig, auf was man achten muss. Ist gar nicht so einfach.
When the program's finished, you'll get a broadcast report. It's 3 pages. This first page shows you how well the broadcast went. Each sequence and an overall grade. Remember, grades mean bonuses, and they keep the boss happy. If you want to know more about how it went, select more info. If not, select continue to move to the next page.
Wieso habe ich hier nur eine E?
Right, this is an optional section for when you really want to understand what happened during the show. You got a graph there showing you what the audience did. They're a fickle fucking bunch. And of course, you can really drill into the details if you want to get better at making TV. I never came here, never once.
Alle Kraftausdrücke wurden zensiert. Eine Sendung ohne... Ah, das war, wo so Störsignal war. I see. Ja, verstehe ich. Ich glaube, wir sind genauso konzentriert wie du. Wahrscheinlich, ja. Ist auf alle Fälle ein ruhiger Stream. Ja, das stimmt. Aber ist auch mal gut. Hauptsponsoren. Du erhältst deinen voller Lohn. Aktuelles Vermögen, bettelarm. Wow! Wow! Schlägt. Was Channel One gerade von dir hält. Okay. Er hat ein Herz für mich. Oh Gott.
Broadcast rushes and adverts. Let's start with broadcast. Click on it now. Over on the left, that's all the broadcasts that you've done. Click on any one of them and hit load tape. Once it's finished loading, you can use the rewind and the fast forward at the bottom there to help you get to the bit you want to see.
Well, in a few moments, we'll be going live to tonight's National Nightly News.
But before that, let's take a look at what's coming up later on tonight on Channel 1. At 7 o'clock, it's the semi-final of the competition game, and it's a nail-biting quiz tonight as a team of nuclear physicists take on 4 old ladies from East Grinching. That's followed at 8 p.m. by award-winning documentary series The Shape of Now, which tonight looks at the history of the knee-length sock and its importance during the Great Blackouts of 1871. Not one to miss. At 9 p.m, sit back and relax with multiple award-winning movie The Freedom of Being Colin, taking us all the way up to 11:15, where, as usual, Dr. Adrian Atkinson-Briney will be grilling his guests in...
Aber die Chipmunks.
...leading economist Katie Brightman. Finally, at midnight, it's the National Weather Report before we say good night until tomorrow. But now, it's time to join Jeremy...
Main stories tonight. Moving...
The election win that experts said just couldn't happen. Hopeful or hostile. Controversy as global medical corporation.
But first, the votes are in and it's a decisive.
Das war ein perfekter Übergang, Bruder. Hier war, glaube ich, die Störung drin, ne? Wo ich nicht klar kam.
National Nightly News. Later we'll be hearing
Aber auch
from the
nicht.
stock election winners advance. But first,
Jetzt kannst du noch mal 10 Minuten meine Speckrollen-Yoga machen, dann bin ich wieder da.
Megan?
Gut.
Right, click on rushes and let's have a look at those. Right, this is the rushes room. It's pretty simple. The 4 screens you can see, they're going to show you the 4 signals you got from the studio during the actual broadcast. Difference is you can
Hier kannst du beliebig nicht stumm schalten. Das ist alles das anzuhören, was du nicht senden durftest.
Prawn and mayonnaise?
You know seafood makes me come out in pustules.
Yeah, I thought it might increase our viewing figures.
Every day. You offer me prawns every day.
10 seconds, everybody. It's how I show love.
You're trying to kill me.
And yet you persist.
To kill me.
Good evening. I'm Jeremy.
Okay.
These aren't my cards. Please tell me these aren't my cards.
No, they're the right ones, apparently.
Oh, but this gives me nothing, Jenny. They must see that.
Oh, no. I think they think you won't have anything to say.
Oh, for God's sake, come on. It's a huge day. He's not an...
Absolute bonehead. I don't care, Rob. I'm not doing it. I agreed to do one beastly interview a day. I made that completely clear when we started. Check my contract.
Hi, I'm Megan.
Oh, piss off. You're on thin, bloody ice, Rob. Whole wheat, man. Whole wheat.
We're coming back from the break. Quiet in the studio.
Thank you so much.
10 seconds, everybody. Going in 5, 4, 3.
Welcome.
Oh mein Gott. Hinter den Kulissen ist auch wild.
Apparently he's been drinking since lunchtime.
Christ, he's a liability at the best of times.
I know. God help whoever has to bleep this. 10 seconds, everybody.
I'm a lawyer and a TV personality running the country. Seriously?
We've had worse. 5, 4, 3.
Welcome back. I'm told we can now go live to advance headquarters. It's very green.
Also das hier könnte auch Söder sein, einfach, ne? Er hat auch immer ein Bier in der Hand. Oh, wir haben Tag 2 übersprungen. Tag 3, ein unerwartetes Formular. Als du nach Hause kommst, liegt Post auf der Türmatte, das meiste davon nur der übliche Müll. Aber ein Umschlag sticht dir ins Auge. Das Team möchte dich kennenlernen. Deine Neugier ist geweckt und du öffnest ihn. Es ist ein Formular der neuen Advance-Regierung mit der Bitte um Informationen über alle Bürger. Die erste Seite wurde bereits ausgefüllt. Name Alex Winston, Partnerin Sam Winston, Kinder Charles Winston 14 und Susie Winston 19. Tja, denkst du, das Wesentliche stimmt schon mal. Die restlichen Fragen musst du selbst beantworten. Sie scheinen alle verpflichtend zu sein. Frage 1. Am ersten Tag in deinem neuen Job würdest du freundlich auftreten und dich mit deinem neuen Kollegen bekannt machen, produktiv sein und dich sofort in die Arbeit stürzen, es langsam angehen lassen und dich erst einmal mit deinem neuen Arbeitsplatz vertraut machen, Mit Freunden in Erinnerung über vergangene Jobs schwelgen. Wo kommen die Freunde plötzlich her? Ich würde sagen, ich würde freundlich auftreten und mich erstmal mit allen bekannt machen. Frage 2. Ein Kollege aus einer anderen Abteilung gesteht dir, vertrauliche Informationen mit nach Hause genommen zu haben. Jetzt fehlt eine eher unwichtige Akte. Du würdest deinem Kollegen helfen, den Regelverstoß zu vertuschen, deinen Kollegen überreden, es zu melden, deinem Kollegen versprechen, es niemandem zu verraten oder den Regelverstoß sofort an deinen unmittelbaren Vorgesetzten melden. Ein Kollege aus einer anderen Abteilung gesteht dir, vertrauliche Informationen mit nach Hause genommen zu haben. Jetzt fehlt eine eher unwichtige Akte. Ich glaube, ich würde versuchen, ihn zu überreden, es selbst zu melden. Frage 3. Heute wurde eine gesamte Abteilung wegen ihrer durchgehend unzureichenden Leistung gefeuert. Dein Boss hat neue Ziele festgelegt, die deutlich höher sind als die alten. Du würdest deinen Arbeitsplatz um die gleiche Zeit wie immer verlassen, länger bleiben, um die erste Frist auf jeden Fall einzuhalten, früher gehen, um dich im Pub mit deinen Kollegen über die Veränderungen zu unterhalten, früher gehen, um Zeit mit deiner Familie zu verbringen. Ich würde stumpf meinen Arbeitsplatz um die gleiche Zeit wie immer verlassen. Frage 4. Du und deine Familie wurde zur alljährlichen Firmen-Grillparty eingeladen. Du freust dich auf einen netten Tag mit Freunden und Familie, musst dir an diesem Tag leider dringend die Haare waschen, gehst hin, falls es sich ergibt, wärst aber auch nicht traurig, es zu verpassen, hast schon fleißig mit deinen Kollegen geübt, um den diesjährigen Talentwettbewerb zu gewinnen. Ja, ich gehe hin, falls es sich ergibt, aber es ist auch nicht schlimm, wenn ich es verpasse. Frage 5. Hinter dir liegt eine lange, erfolgreiche Karriere. Nun sollst du vor dem Eintritt in den Ruhestand eine Abschiedsrede halten. Du listest alle deine Erfolge und schönen Erinnerungen an dein Arbeitsleben auf, lieferst eine ehrliche Aufstellung der Vor- und Nachteile des Unternehmens, konzentrierst dich auf die Probleme und Herausforderungen, mit denen du zu kämpfen hattest, gehst gar nicht erst hin. Okay, also das ist wild, die letzte Antwort. Ich liste natürlich alle Erfolge und schöne Erinnerungen auf. Hallo Nimble. Hello, hello. Frage 6. In deiner Freizeit ziehst du es vor, alleine zu entspannen, zum Beispiel beim Musikhören oder beim Modellbau, an politischen Versammlungen teilzunehmen und dich für das einzusetzen, woran du glaubst, deine Kinder bei deren Hobbys zu unterstützen und zu fördern, dich im örtlichen Sportverein zu engagieren. Boah, lass mich alleine. Ich möchte einfach nur alleine was machen in meiner Freizeit. Frage 7. So würdest du deinen perfekten Urlaub verbringen. Inmitten der Schönheit der Natur, wo du dich von den Strapazen des Alltags erholst. Mit der Erkundung des Unbekannten, um neue Erfahrungen zu sammeln und Herausforderungen zu bestehen. Bei einem strukturierten Tagesausflug in den Vergnügungspark mit Spaß und Nervenkitzel für dich und deine Familie. Bei einem romantischen Wochenende zu zweit in einem tropischen Inselparadies. Erkundung des Unbekannten klingt ganz gut, glaube ich. Frage 8. Die wichtigste Aufgabe der Regierung ist es, den Bewohnern Folgendes zu garantieren: Sicherheit, Freiheit, Zufriedenheit oder Gleichheit. Boah, das ist eine diepe Frage. Das ist eine diepe Frage. Zufriedenheit nicht. Dafür ist letztendlich die Regierung nicht verantwortlich. Freiheit würde ich eher an dritter Stelle stellen. Ich schwanke eher zwischen Sicherheit und Gleichheit. Aber ich glaube Sicherheit. Neoliberal, Sozialdemokrat oder Kommunist. Vielen Dank für deine Mitarbeit. Wir von Advance wissen, wie wertvoll deine Zeit ist und bedanken uns für deine Mithilfe dabei, die Nation in eine lichte Zukunft zu führen. Bitte unterschreiben. Mal gucken, was das für Auswirkungen hat. Tag 6. Eine Familienangelegenheit. Es ist spät. Sam und die Kinder liegen schon im Bett. Du trocknest noch eben eine alte Lieblingstasse ab, eine abgegriffene Erinnerung an euren ersten gemeinsamen Ausflug. Der Aufdruck darauf ist verblasst, aber die alberne Grimasse bringt dich immer noch zum Lachen. Ein Klopfen am Fenster holt dich schlagartig in die Wirklichkeit zurück. Im Garten steht Chris, Sams Geschwisterchen, in der Hand einen knalligen neongrünen Koffer. Kaum im Haus nimmt Chris sofort am Küchentisch Platz, sichtlich gestresst. Ich wollte nur ganz kurz Hallo sagen, ich muss jetzt noch kurz nach Hause fahren und dann chill ich mich zu euch. Alles klar, Nimbli, dann sehen wir uns gleich und fahr vorsichtig, ja? Chris holt tief Luft. Tut mir leid, dass ich so spät hier reinplatze, Alex, stammelt Chris. Aber ich brauche einen Gefallen und ich kann mich an niemanden sonst wenden. Schon gut, was ist denn los? Ist alles in Ordnung? Soll ich Sam holen? Ich frage erstmal, was los ist. Du hast doch sicher diese verrückten Pläne von Advance mitgekriegt, das Kapital- und Vermögensgesetz, wie sie es nennen. Das sauer verdiente Geld der Leute wollen sie den Schmarotzern in den Arsch schieben. Kompletter Schwachsinn. Du hast Chris noch nie so aufgebracht gesehen. Ich sag ja nicht, dass dem obersten Prozent nicht der Kies aus den Ohren quillt, fügt Chris hastig hinzu. Die können sich's leisten, aber Leute wie ich werden alles verlieren. Das ist schlimm, aber ich weiß nicht, was ich dagegen tun soll. Du warst doch immer finanziell noch am besten gestellt in der Familie. Entschuldige, aber von den Reichen zu nehmen, um es den Armen zu geben, klingt gar nicht so übel. Chris' Augen blitzen gefährlich. So naiv kannst du doch gar nicht sein. Sie nehmen sich, was sie wollen und verteilen es um, wie es ihnen passt. Keine Regierung sollte diese Macht besitzen. Hör mal, deswegen bin ich nicht hier. Du musst mir deinen Reisepass leihen. Mein Reisepass? Wozu? Einen haben sie mir abgenommen. So wie fast jedem Zweiten im ganzen verdammten Land, aber es sagen doch immer alle, wie ähnlich wir beide uns sehen. Also, Chris läuft nervös auf und ab. Ich muss weg, bevor es zu spät ist. Erst dann ist mein Geld in Sicherheit und ich auch. Aber es muss sofort passieren, bevor sie meine Konten einfrieren. Bitte, ich würde nicht fragen, wenn ich eine andere Wahl hätte. Ich kann dem doch nicht meinen Reisepass geben. Ich schwitze mich wieder voll und ganz zu euch. Lenny, willkommen zurück. Es muss eine andere Lösung geben. So schlimm kann es doch nicht sein. Chris starrt dich mit offenem Mund an. Willst du mich verarschen? Ich habe immer zu dir und Sam gehalten. Ich habe eure Kinder behandelt, als wären es meine eigenen. Wir sind eine Familie. Bedeutet dir das etwa gar nichts? Na schön, ich hole meinen Reisepass. Die Familie geht vor. Das verstößt gegen das Gesetz. Ich kann dir da nicht weiterhelfen. Ich weiß nicht, was ich tun würde, bin ich ehrlich, weil ich würde eigentlich meinen eigenen Reisepass nicht aus der Hand geben. Aber will ich auch es hier aber wählen? Was mit, ich hole meinen Reisepass? Ja, habe ich auch gedacht. Du erklimmst leise die Treppe zum Schlafzimmer, um niemanden zu wecken. Sam hat sich in die Bettdecke gewickelt, wie üblich, wenn du später zu Bett gehst. Du öffnest den Kleiderschrank, schließt den Safe auf und nimmst den Reisepass heraus. Eine schläfrige Stimme durchbricht die Stille. Alex, was machst du da? Nichts, Schatz, alles gut, schlaf weiter. Chris ist unten und braucht meinen Reisepass, um damit das Land zu verlassen. Ich möchte keine Geheimnisse von meinem Partner haben. Sam richtet sich kerzengerade auf. An Schlaf ist nicht mehr zu denken. Was? Um das Land zu verlassen? Steht das wirklich so schlimm? Anscheinend, aber außer Landes hat Chris nichts zu befürchten. Dafür ist allerdings mein Reisepass nötig. Das sagt zumindest Chris, aber ich bin mir nicht sicher. Ich weiß nicht, ob ich wirklich meinen Reisepass hergeben sollte. Sam muss es innerlich zerreißen. Sie standen sich als Familie immer sehr nahe. Du weißt, was ich tun würde, sagt Sam schließlich, aber es ist nicht mein Pass. Ich kann nicht von dir verlangen, ihn herzugeben. Du hast recht, ich mache es. Die Familie geht vor, bin gleich wieder da. Ich kann es nicht tun, tut mir leid, Schatz. Ich glaube, dass Chris überreagiert und ich könnte echt in Schwierigkeiten kommen deswegen. Raus mit dem Reisepass! Du schließt den Safe und gehst wieder nach unten, wo Chris nervös zappelnd am Tisch wartet. Bei deinem Eintreten springt Chris sofort auf. Und? Hast du ihn? Ja, hier, ich wünsche dir viel Glück. Tut mir leid, Chris, es ist gegen das Gesetz, das musst du einfach akzeptieren. Wie oft man die Möglichkeit hat, sich nochmal umzuentscheiden. Zum ersten Mal lächelt Chris. Es ist ansteckend. Danke, ich weiß es zu schätzen. Ich melde mich, sobald ich das Land verlassen habe und in Sicherheit bin. Chris nimmt den Reisepass, atmet erleichtert auf und verschwindet mit dem nahezu fluoreszierenden Koffer in die Nacht. Du gehst zu Bett in der Hoffnung, dir einen Teil der Bettdecke schnappen zu können, ohne Sam zu wecken. Okay. Tag 8. Die Auswirkungen. Wir sind wieder im Studio, Leute. Back at work.
Let's get set up and get on with it, so I can get back to my guests. First of all, let's get the power on. You need to get at least the bottom 4 plugs on. Right, let's load up the adverts. You might want to have a bit of a think about it. Your decisions have consequences, don't they?
Sollen wir spielen? Ist dieses Spielzeug sicher? Mr. Kuschelflausch. Da ist Mr. Kuschelflausch, Leute. Ja, Mann, billig. Tatmenschen. Jude Cochon. Ellen James. Hässliches Adventsschmuckspektakel. Ja, rein. Elegante neue Hautcreme mit dem schweinischen Etwas. Ne, wir machen ja noch Ellen James.
Right, you can see they finally got the old headline system up and working again, and the vision mixer's already in headline mode because headlines always come at the start. It's really simple, mate. These 2 buttons at the bottom of the vision mixer, you can see they now have A and B on them. And they're to help you pick image A on the left bottom screen here, or image B on the right bottom screen here. It's really simple. This little clock here will count down the number of seconds you have to make your decision. Provided you make a decision in that time, you're fine. And you can change your mind as much as you want until the clock reaches 0. But if you don't make any decision, you'll be fired before you even get to make another choice. I just want to say one more thing, mate. The pictures you choose to show of these people, well, that's how the public is going to perceive them, and that's going to affect their lives. So like with the adverts, choose carefully.
No,
and we're off. Good luck, mate. If I get time, I'll call you back in the next break. Yeah, I'm coming, darling.
My friend Janet says theirs gets really hot.
Is this Janet who thinks dogs have their own secret language?
Yeah, the one that mistrusts the moon.
10 seconds, everybody.
Not the best source of consumer advice, then.
Don't blame me when it explodes. Going in 5.
Okay, Leute, es geht los.
3.
Good evening, I'm Jeremy Donaldson. Our main headlines tonight. Destination unknown. At the end of Advance's first full week in office, we ask exactly who's leading this charge. Tonight, I'll be discussing what the new future might hold with a leading economist and radical free thinker. With the Assets and Wealth Act on the brink of raising living standards for the vast majority of the country, I'll be asking my guess if we're on the way to a new future. Out with the old, Remington's Fist have appointed Sophia Remington as their new CEO. The following photo, taken from our archive, gives us a sense of this influential young firebrand who, at the tender age of 23, becomes the youngest female CEO in history. Sophia Remington has always impressed. She was top of her class at university and graduated with the highest honours, immediately being asked back to lecture. The markets have responded favourably to Sophia's appointment, with stocks rising 30 points in light of the announcement. In her first press conference this afternoon, Sophia announced a children's toy named Mr. Snugglehearts. Sophia promises it will be all the rage this Christmas, but concerns have been raised about the product's safety. Making a splash, intrepid scientist Dr. David Wong and marine biologist Ingrid Swarsborg-Horgensford have today set off to explore Dante's taint. The recently discovered cave system was previously thought unreachable, but thanks to a new breakthrough in underwater flower technology, the pair hope to successfully reach the imposing central cavern and the undiscovered plant species it contains. This is, of course, only the latest in a series of successful expeditions for this unlikely pairing. In a joint statement about the dangers their team might face, the pair stated, "We will face the plentiful challenges together like we always have." Playing the field, rumours abound as sporting legend Johnny Hamsleeves is snapped leaving Bush, one of the capital's hottest clubs. The footballer was caught while out celebrating being named Sports Personality of the Year last week, as reported by this very programme. Johnny is seen here with socialite and performance artiste Tiffany Lamore, whose recent show, Snatched Inside My Snatch, has kept her firmly in the public eye. Could romance be on the cards for these two budding A-listers? And Griever's bodily charm. With Advance promising a radical new position on crime, how afraid should we actually be? I'll be going live around the country to talk with people who've seen the criminal justice system from every perspective. With more and more powers passing to the police and less oversight, are we using an Advance-shaped sledgehammer to crack a nut? All that and mega move with a group of young actors who are already experiencing the positive side of the new Assets and Wealth Act firsthand. They'll be talking and performing later. That's all coming up on tonight's National Nightly News.
Das ist so gemein, dass das hier zwischendrin kommt, ne?
In the wake of the government's swift enactment of the Assets and Wealth Act, we're talking about Advance's first week in office and what the new future holds. Joining me are Katie Brightman, a leading economist, and Alan James, author of Alan James is Right, The Free Man's Guide to Waking Up. Alan, the government certainly haven't dragged their heels on delivering some of the legislation they promised. But what does the Wealth Act mean for us?
Nothing, Jeremy. We're still vassal slaves, we're just in prettier cages.
A confident dismissal there. Katie Brightman, do you agree?
I'm afraid I don't, no. I think that Advance have realised that the current economic system of unlimited, unending growth is untenable, so they're changing things up.
There I agree with you. They're moving to the next steps in the grand plan.
Grand plan, Alan?
It's all in my book. Alan James is Right, Jeremy. We're to become the great herd, ignorant, sterile, and short-lived. That's what they want.
Or perhaps Advance have just realised that if we carry on the way we are, we will destroy ourselves and this planet in a mad orgy of consumption, if you'll excuse the colourful metaphor.
Yes, orgy is the right word. Only it'll be the overlords having an orgy on our poor broken backs. It's all in my book. Alan James is...
Shamelessly self-promoting? Katie, how do you think the rest of the world will respond to this new approach?
I think they're watching carefully. Advance are the most disruptive threat that the world powers have faced since the last Great War.
Yes, Katie's right. War is inevitable.
Thank you, but that isn't...
And this will not be a war like we've ever seen before. We're talking millions of deaths. We're talking high-tech weapons that can level entire cities. We're talking...
Out of the wrong orifices?
Mock me all you like, Jeremy, but when they murder your parents and they poison your food and they take you away to their camps for hypno-brainwashing, we'll be laughing then.
That might be a great way to sell books, Alan, but you know full well that isn't going to happen in a democracy.
Democracy is dead.
Yes, Advance are radical, and change is always frightening, but the truth is that the Wealth and Assets Act has made more than 90% of the population wealthier and is on target to produce a permanent end to poverty.
Bollocks! What this young lady doesn't understand, Jeremy, is that
Oops,
these
ich hab zu früh.
people. Maybe they've rebranded, but it's all a little circus act to keep us from seeing the tyrant behind the curtain.
That's where you're wrong, Alan. For a start, they've mobilised the youth vote like we've never seen before.
You say mobilise, I call it grooming. The grooming of an entire generation to walk happily into eternal bondage. They're like psychic paedophiles.
But based on the facts, Katie, what are your predictions?
The Assets and Wealth Act is only the first step. Advance now have a historic budgetary surplus, and as well as properly funding our public services, they're already funneling unprecedented amounts into scientific research and the arts.
Or, as I call them in my book, Frankenscience and opiates. Like opiates, see?
Can we get back to the issue at hand, please, Ellen?
This is the issue. It's all coming from the water, the chemicals. They're pumping it full of belief juice.
Don't get me wrong, I want to see these changes, but only if they're sustainable. If Advance lose their power after spending half of our GDP on dismantling infrastructure, that could be catastrophic.
The catastrophe is that they're succeeding. They've got us sat here talking about their puppet show.
All right, we're running out of time. Quickly, Alan, what does the future look like to you?
A bleak space where we've all been figuratively sodomized into submission.
Of course. Katie?
We might be on the eve of a brave new world. God knows we need some change, but we need to be cautious. Let's walk forwards with our eyes open.
Two very different visions of the future there. Alan James, Katie Brightman, thank you for joining me. When we come back, I'll be investigating law and order before Megan meets some beneficiaries of the Assets and Wealth Act. That's all coming up tonight on the National Nightly News.
1 minute back.
Oh mein Gott.
I think I might do some good.
I hope so too, Jeremy.
How much are you being paid by them then?
Shut the fuck up, Alan. I've never heard so much shit in my life.
Lag, meine Katze hat einen Fellball geboren.
I
Okay.
can explain it to you, but unfortunately, I can't understand
Profi, wie du hin und her schaltest. Ich bin so focused. Ich war ein bisschen zu schnell mit der... Dass ich zu schnell zensiert habe.
I'm just saying I'll do what I can, that's all.
Oh shit, you will. She's good. You know she is.
I've said a bit of word in, that's all I can do.
10 seconds, everybody. Little Jakey's going to the big bad country with water.
If that sticks, I'll destroy you.
5, 4, 3.
Welcome back. In our second segment, we're going to be taking a deep dive into the state of law and order in our country. Advance have already tasked what they are calling a solutions team to move this serious social problem to the top of the list. Tonight, we go behind the headlines to meet the people who live with the criminal justice system every day of their lives. First up, we have Gregory Judge, a lawyer who sees the problems close up on the front line. Can you hear me, Gregory?
Yes, I've got you, Jeremy. Thanks for having me.
What's it like on the front line of the hard face of the cold hand of justice?
Well, as you can imagine, Jeremy, we are massively understaffed in this country. We're working every hour we can just to try and cope with the caseloads on our desks.
Which must affect the quality of support you can offer.
Well, we can barely keep up with demand, Jeremy. There just simply isn't enough being done at a systemic level to relieve the problem. We need more support from ministers. What are you doing? We need change at a structural level,
I'm
Jeremy.
leaving, Greg.
Not a good time, darling.
It never is it? I'll be at my mother's.
Just hang on. Oh, the problem isn't a local one, Jeremy. It's nationwide. Just give me 5 minutes. I'm talking to Jeremy Donaldson.
Oh, have you mentioned your affairs?
No. Well, the affairs of the Justice Department that we should be concerned about.
Hello, Mr. Donaldson.
Hello, Mrs. Judge.
We need legislation to relieve the pressure on our public
Sorry
servants.
to interrupt the news, Mr. Donaldson. Can I have a moment to tell my husband I'm leaving him?
Yes, I totally understand. Quite the picture of a burdened legal sector there. Gregory Judge, thank you for joining us. Next, I'm joined by Police Chief Constable Bob Peel, a man with a very different perspective on our nation's crime. Do you think there's a problem with the system, Bob?
I'm sure we all do, Jeremy. I'm sure we all long for a return to the days when you could safely walk the streets of your community at night, looking in through windows and generally enjoying your neighbours without the risk of being terrorised by some thug with a knife. Or kosh.
So you feel the streets simply aren't safe anymore? Where have we gone wrong, Bob?
Well, that's not a simple question, Jeremy, but I think it all comes down to moral decay. We've diluted our culture and lost touch with what it means to be a citizen of this once great country. Also, as the vicar noted in Sunday's sermon, we probably shouldn't have banned hanging.
And to what do you attribute this moral decay?
Foreigners, mainly.
Oops.
It's all in the Bible. Look, Leviticus clearly states that... Oh, bugger, hang on a moment. Jeremy, a bloody gimp's escaped. Delia, could you give me a little help, please, dear? As I was saying, Jesus didn't like immigrants much, did he?
And just to be clear, you think it's the immigrants who are responsible for the moral decay?
Absolutely, Jeremy.
Um.
Back in your box, Clive. Back in your box. Delia, I really could use a little help with this.
Oh, sorry, darling. I was staying the Badgers.
Yes, I'm talking to Jeremy Donaldson. Clive, could you put him back in the box?
Oh, Clive, you know it's Wednesday. Can't you go back in your gimp space? Off
And
you go.
whose responsibility is it to make a change, Bob?
Well, it is certainly not the responsibility of the decent, good, white people of
Darling,
this...
where's the padlock?
Oh, hold on just a moment.
Oh, Clive! Naughty boy.
Cynthia.
Clive, I am not having this again.
Mummy said, get back in your gimp space. No! Naughty!
Kann ich das einfach so senden?
Saying, Jeremy, moral decay. Crime is the responsibility of the criminal, no one else. Look, everyone has a sob story, but we don't all end up as barbarians, do we? Look, when our daughter Alice comes home with an A-, does she go on a killing spree? No, she takes 3 of her pills and hides under the stairs like a normal child.
Thank you, Bob. Bob Peel there, really locking down the police's position on morality for us. And finally tonight, hopefully uninterrupted, it's time to get to the heart of the matter. Tony Dawson has recently been released from prison after serving 3 years for aggravated assault, burglary, and menacing a swap. He's agreed to talk to us today, which is also, I believe, his birthday. Many happy returns, Tony.
Cheers, Jez. Call me Titwank Tony. Everybody else does.
No, I'm not going to be doing that. Can you tell us what it's like in prison, Tony?
Titwank Tony. Prison's a mixed bag. Structure's quite nice, but it's a constant battle against institutionalisation, as you can imagine. And obviously, titwanks are quite hard to come by.
I'm picking up that you're not alone there, Tony.
Titwank Tony. Yeah, sorry, my friends are throwing me a surprise party. Good bunch of lads.
Okay, well, we're trying to let you get back to that party as soon as possible. First, let me ask you this. Do you feel that your time spent in prison helped to rehabilitate you in any way, Tony?
Titwank Tony. I don't think it's as easy as that, Jez.
Sopen!
Yeah, I think asking that is an oversimplification.
It sounds like it's getting quite busy there, Tony, but let's try and soldier on. Since leaving custody, have you been able to find a new job?
Yeah, all the boys are here. Big Chris, little Chris, and Vampire Chris.
This one's, yeah?
Yep.
One sec, love. Titwank Tony's on the news. Rehabilitation's difficult with the current system, Jez. It's just not set up for it, you know?
Passiert hier.
It's inherently unjust.
So, do you feel tempted to... I'm sorry, who's this now?
You are joking. Chrissy Freebollocks has only got Mr. Fancy, oh. Not now, fellas. I'm on the news.
It seems like we've caught you at a bad time.
The little boy.
Oh, I can't really hear you, mate. It's getting a bit busy here. Jesus.
Yes, we seem to be losing the signal
No
here, Tony.
fucking way. Let's believe that.
Well, we're just trying to get that signal back. I think we... Yes, Tony? Tony, I mean, we were literally away for 2 seconds. How has this happened, Tony? Can you hear me? Well, we seem to have lost our train of thought there a little. Hopefully you, the viewer at home, have managed to gain a broader understanding of the serious and complex issues around law and order. After the break, Megan will be live with some plucky young thespians. Don't go away. We'll be back after these messages.
1 minute back, everybody.
Danke, Nimri, für den Resub im 29. Monat.
There's a bit of music. If you edit in time with the music, you can see the result on the Vision Mixer, and the public will love that. Don't worry if you don't know, you won't get punished for it or nothing. Just try and stay in the groove. Also, one last tip, when the music starts, turn down the broadcast volume. Right, enjoy the music bit. God, I love music. God,
Was?
I think I might go and throw up in a bit.
room. Probably banging his head against the wall.
Looks alright, I've got this. I'm sure he's on his way. Come on, it's welcome back. How hard can it be?
This is on you.
10 seconds, everybody. We're gonna open on Megan. Camera 2. Going in 5, 4, 3.
Welcome's Black. I'm Megan Wolfe, and on tonight's Culture Spot, I'll be chatting with one of the first beneficiaries of the Assets and Wealth Act, a team of inspiring young people from Scritchford Sixth Form College who today received a grant from Advance to take their play, Hey, Friendship, on a tour of local secondary schools. Welcome to you all. Well, let's start with you two, Harriet and Charlotte Winstanley-Hamilton. Girls, you must be thrilled.
We are, Megan. We're overwhelmed, to be honest.
And I believe you two are sisters, is that right?
Yes, Charlotte's my oldest.
I'm the older, more popular one. Only joking.
Harriet and Trey were really the ones who came up with the whole idea.
So, Harry and I were shooting the breeze in the cafeteria, and I said, hey, let's actually do something.
So I went to look for a drama teacher.
But she'd been laid off due to budget cuts. Fortunately, I directed a pantomime when I was at university, so I knew the ropes, as it were.
Right, yes, but you're the maths teacher, aren't you?
Yes, that's me, Jeff Algebra, maths teacher.
Maths is really important.
Oh, thanks, Steve.
Maths is really important.
Yeah, thanks, Steve.
As is theatre. It's one of the oldest art forms in history. Aristotle.
I just think that when we travel around all these problem schools and
Did you?
the poor kids see us, they say, hey, I really want to be like those attractive kids. And that's a very beautiful and powerful thing. We touch our audiences and they touch us right back.
I suppose with a surname like Algebra, there was really only one choice of career for me. My wife, Angela, and I, we often laugh about it.
Angela Algebra.
Yes.
We just want to bring a bit of song and joy into people's lives.
And teach people about the difficult issues. The issues in the play are what really matter.
And I think you're going to be showing us an extract from this play, aren't you?
That's right. To put into context, I play a young first year who's having some troubles at school.
Her character doesn't actually have a name, yeah, because in a way she's like all of us.
It's like a metaphor. Maybe she's you at home, or like, maybe she's you, Megan.
Maths is really important.
Yeah, thanks, Steve.
Put it in, coach.
Yes, thanks, Steve.
Right, well, I'm going to have a little chat with your teacher while you run off and get ready. I can't wait to see it. That's it, that way. So, Jeff, when did you first hear about the grant?
2 days ago. A letter from Advance arrived at the school. Now, the headmaster thought it was all a prank, but his secretary retrieved it from his bin and brought it to me.
Wow, how did you react?
I also threw it in the bin. But then Harriet and Trey rescued it, and they rang the number at the bottom of the page, and next thing you know, we're on tour.
Wow. Well, I think we can all guess which way you'll be voting from now on.
Do you know what? It's funny because Angela and I don't usually vote. We're not very political. I'm a mathematician, of course, and she's a paraplegic mainly. But we did used to watch that Peter Clements DIY show back in the day, and so we thought, why not? Let's have a go at this old democracy thing.
Okay.
And here we bally well are.
Good stuff.
Fucking brilliant!
So, let's have a look at a short section of Hey, Friendship.
Dear Diary, I'm not sure I can take another day at this school. Another day of tears.
Tears.
Another day of fears. But still I walk the corridors alone. Dreading what might be around every corner.
What's around the corner? What's around the corner? What's around the corner?
Oh, hi Gary.
Oh, heavens no! It's Gary the Fist!
Gary the Fist!
Going somewhere, little first year?
Great. I've been looking for some poor victim to bully all morning. But will this make me feel better about my violent father?
Excuse me, I'm late for maths. It's my favourite subject. And so important.
Maths is for losers.
What?
Maths is for losers.
My arm's stuck, coach.
Keep going, for fuck's sake.
Right, maths is for losers. Now, give me your lunch money.
Double lunch for me today, but why am I only
Was
truly
bin ich
happy when I'm
sehend?
eating?
Not today, Gary the Fist.
What do you mean not today? Who are you? My arm's free coat.
Brilliant, keep going.
Right, who are you to stand up to me? I'm Gary the Fist, and you're just a sad little girl with 2 gay dads who's all alone.
That's where you're wrong, Gary the Fist. These are my 2 new friends. Vanessa is captain of the netball team. Yeah. And Blake owns a motorbike.
Yeah.
But I can't fight all 3 of you, and I don't have any friends of my own.
Take a look at me. Take a little look at my face. I could be you. She could be you. And you could be me.
Or you could be me.
Life can be peachy keen if you work as a team.
It's my choice to be mean. So stop now, make a different choice.
Listen to that inner voice.
Was passiert hier?
Listen up, I won't take no crap. Who said middle class girls can't rap? I ain't afraid of your cruel lads. I'm a mother loving rebel, but I still love maths.
Was passiert hier? Ich will trinken sollen.
Kids, I'm Gary the Fist. People think that folks like me probably shouldn't exist, but that's just prejudice, and I'd do better if you knew the way that I became Gary the Fist. I grew up on a council estate. The park was hip, but the flats weren't great. My dad used to come home drunk and late, and he'd hit my mum, and for dinner he had to wait. Where's my dinner?
It's not ready.
Where's my dinner, woman?
Go.
Don't make me ask you again.
Hitting women is wrong.
I guess life's pretty hard on a council estate. 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 It's so damn hard on a council estate.
Life can be peachy keen.
Yeah.
If you work as a team.
Just work as a team.
It's your choice to be me.
It's my choice.
So stop now, make a different choice.
Listen to that inner voice.
Friendship!
Yes! Oh.
Well, thankfully that's all we have time for tonight on the National Nightly News. Join us tomorrow night for all the headlines from across the country. My name's Jeremy Donaldson. Have a peaceful night.
And we're out.
Oh, that was brilliant.
What the literal fuck was that?
I believe that was art.
Was war das? Oh mein Gott.
I have a similar belief about an adequate paycheck.
Oh, someone please get these twats out of my studio.
Mein Gott. Was war das? Das waren wirklich die wildesten News, die ich auch jemals gesehen habe. Und das ist die 9 Uhr Nachricht auf dem X-Hamster. Wilde Dinge passieren hier, Nimble. Wilde Dinge. Darf ich meiner Therapeutin ein paar Clips hier zeigen? Dann verschreibt sie mir endlich den harten Scheiß. Alter Schwede. Oh mein Gott. Ich habe vollen Lohn. Yay. Bin immer noch bettelarm. Yay. Es geht bergab mit der Welt. Ich würde diesen Teil immer, glaube ich, überspringen mit dem Archiv. Wir wollen ja wissen, wie es weitergeht. Tag 15, eine lange Nacht. Ich muss nochmal die Musik ein bisschen leiser machen. Sie ballert doch ganz schön rein immer. Du erreichst das Theater etwas zu früh, aber Sam erwartet dich bereits wie aus dem Ei gepellt. Du lächelst breit, während ihr Hand in eurer privaten Loge Platz nehmt. Daran könnte man sich gewöhnen. Hallo Larry! Einen wunderschönen Dienstag. Die Tickets lagen am Montag vor deiner Tür mit einem getippten Dankeschön von Chris. Du wirst deinen Reisepass wohl bald zurückbekommen. Die Show entspricht nicht ganz deinem Geschmack. Eine pompöse Oper in einer Sprache, die Chris mit Sicherheit auch nicht versteht. Trotzdem, die inkludierten Getränke versüßen das Gesamterlebnis. Nachdem die Show endlich vorbei ist, wie viele Verbeugungen brauchen diese Leute eigentlich, stellt ihr euch an der Garderobe an. Du schüttelst dich vor Lachen, während Sam wild herumfuchtelnd den Dirigenten nachäfft. Das Paar vor euch spricht über die Umsiedlung von Leuten, die ihre neuen Steuerforderungen nicht begleichen konnten. Es klingt schrecklich. Sam lächelt dir dankbar zu. Ihr müsst beide an Chris denken. Sicher und wohlbehalten. Immer noch lachend kommt ihr zu Hause an, wo Sam sofort nach oben geht, um zu duschen. Du vermisst euren 14-jährigen Sohn und findest auf dem Küchentisch eine Nachricht in seiner fast unleserlichen Handschrift. Da steht, dass er bei einem Freund ist. Da am nächsten Tag Schule ist, fährst du rüber und holst ihn ab. Du vertraust Charlie. Er wird sicher bald da sein. Nee, ich hol ihn ab. Als du das Haus des Freundes erreichst, bist du stinksauer. Bei deinem Anblick rastet Charlie aus und sagt dir unmissverständlich, wohin du dir deine Fahrt nach Hause stecken kannst. Vor den Augen seines Freundes und von dessen Eltern brecht ihr einen heftigen Streit vom Zaun. Die Sache ist extrem peinlich. Du entschuldigst dich und führst ihn schnell zum Auto. Während der Fahrt beginnt es zu regnen. Innerlich schäumt ihr beide noch immer. Nur das Geräusch der Regentropfen lockert die Stimmung im Auto etwas auf. Was sollte das eben, Charlie? Sein Seufzen klingt, als käme es von einem Greis, nicht von einem 14-Jährigen. Ich will selbst entscheiden, was ich mache. Nicht du. Das ist nicht fair. Er muss lernen, Grenzen zu akzeptieren. Du gibst ihm Hausarrest. Heute hat es schon genug böses Blut gegeben. Du übst Nachsicht. Nachsicht. Hallo, Übo. Einen wunderschönen guten Abend. Du warst auch mal jung und eigentlich ist er ein guter Junge. Du versprichst Sam, nichts davon zu erzählen und er verspricht mürrisch, es nicht mehr zu tun. Was Sam nicht weiß, macht Sam nicht heiß. Tag 42. Eine dezente Erinnerung. Du siehst den Poststapel durch, der sich angesammelt hat. Bei jeder neuen Rechnung zieht sich dein Bauch krampfhaft zusammen. Du hältst inne, als du etwas Blaues aufblitzen siehst. Auf einem Umschlag erkennst du das Logo von Advance und reißt ihn auf. Liebe Familie Winston, dies ist das zweite Erinnerungsschreiben bezüglich unseres Kapital- und Vermögensumverteilungsprogramms mit der Bitte, Ihre Reisepässe unverzüglich zur Registrierung bei der nächstgelegenen Regierungsbehörde einzureichen. Ohne Einreichung ist es nicht möglich, Ihren Anteil an der nationalen Rückvergütung zu erhalten. Du wusstest, es würde Konsequenzen haben. Das macht es aber auch nicht einfacher. Wir arbeiten als Team und werden als Team belohnt. Gemeinsam vorwärts. Julia Salisbury und Peter Clement. Chris ist in Sicherheit. Nur das zählt. Hoffst du wenigstens. Du warst auch mal jung und ich fühle mich direkt angesprochen. Tag 48. Ein angespannter Weihnachtsabend. Beim Anblick des Tisches kannst du dir ein Lächeln nicht verkneifen. Draußen auf dem Gras liegt der erste Schnee, die Kinder ziehen an einem Weihnachtscracker, während deiner betagten Mutter langsam die Augen zufallen. Du hattest schon immer eine Schwäche für Weihnachten. Jetzt sitzt du am Kopf des Tisches, auf dem Platz deines Vaters. Der Platz dir gegenüber, Chris' Platz, ist leer. Chris ist jetzt sicher irgendwo an einem Strand in der Karibik, denkst du. Sams Blick und das Lächeln sagen dir, dass ihr wahrscheinlich dasselbe denkt. Selbst ohne Chris musstet ihr heuer beim Essen ein wenig einsparen. Aber das scheint niemandem aufzufallen. Weihnachten kann wirklich eine wunderschöne Zeit sein. Du blickst dich um und betrachtest deine Familie. Genießt du das Weihnachtsfest, Großmutter? Du bleibst stumm, du sprichst einen Toast aus. Du stehst auf und erhebst dein Glas. Frohe Weihnachten, ihr Lieben. Ich bin froh, dass wir alle hier sind. Wenigstens die meisten von uns. Alle murmeln ein Prost und stoßen klirrend ihre Gläser aneinander. Deine Tochter Susie nützt die Gelegenheit, um dich mit einer Frage in die Enge zu treiben. Du hast mich doch lieb, oder? Du hebst fragend eine Augenbraue. Jetzt kommt sicher nichts Gutes, oder? Scherzt du. Du weißt doch, dass meine Freunde und ich heuer eine Reise planen, beginnt Susie unschuldig. Also ich hatte gehofft, dass ihr mir da finanziell unter die Arme greifen könnte. Du lachst. Wusste ich's doch. Ich kann Gedanken lesen, grinst du, während deine 19-jährige Tochter die Augen verdreht. Du wünschst, du könntest ohne Bedenken zustimmen, aber seit deine Mutter zu euch ziehen musste, ist alles nicht mehr so einfach. Von welcher Summe reden wir denn hier? Nur ein paar Hunderter? Murmelt sie und schiebt eine einsame Erbs auf ihrem Teller hin und her. Du musst dich wirklich beherrschen, um deiner Mutter am anderen Tischende nicht deinen Glühwein ins Gesicht zu spucken. Ich weiß, das ist viel Geld, Schatz, meldet sich Sam zu Wort, aber das Zugfahren ist wirklich teuer und es wäre eine tolle Gelegenheit für sie und außerdem habe ich es ihr schon erlaubt. Es tut mir leid, aber wir haben das Geld einfach nicht. Oder du hast recht, irgendwie werden wir es schon auftreiben. Also, der Mensch in mir, kinderlos ist, sagt, Pech, wir haben das Geld halt nicht mein Problem. Aus Elternsicht willst du deinen Kindern ja irgendwie alles Mögliche ermöglichen. Und das wäre dann die zweite Variante. Ich möchte ganz kurz anmerken, ich liebe es sehr, wie du immer vorliest. Du kannst das wirklich sehr gut. Dankeschön. +1, ich finde das total entspannt. Dankeschön, ihr Süßen. Dankeschön. Freut mich sehr zu lesen. Wir sind gute Eltern, oder? Es gibt auch Eltern, die die erste Variante wählen. Stimmt. Es gibt auch viel dazwischen. Komm, irgendwie kriegen wir das schon hin. Doppelschichten. Susie grinst von einem Ohr zum anderen. Ehrlich? Danke, das ist toll. Danke, danke. Sam setzt dir einen Papphut auf den Kopf. Die Stimmung steigt, während Charlie amüsiert all die schrecklichen Cracker-Witze vorliest. Der Raum füllt sich mit Stimmen und Gelächter. Deine Mutter mustert deine fröhliche Familie und flüstert, dein Vater wäre so glücklich. Du tupfst ihm mit deiner Serviette die Augen. Du freust dich über dein Glück. Die Zeit geht immer sehr schnell voran. Tag 72, ein langes Wochenende. Aktuelles Vermögen, was ist Geld, ist auch gut. Von bettelarm zu was ist Geld. Sehr gut. Warum muss der Reißverschluss an diesem Koffer nur immer klemmen? Heute ist euer Jahrestag. Sam und du fahren wir jedes Jahr übers Wochenende weg, üblicherweise zum Campen. Das Geld wächst schließlich nicht auf Bäumen. Du freust dich schon lange darauf. Endlich etwas Zeit zu zweit, abseits des Lärms des Alltags. Keine Kinder, keine Arbeit, nur Ruhe und Frieden und ein bisschen Romantik. Endlich gibt der Reißverschluss nach und du kannst den prallen Koffer die Treppen hinunterzerren. Auf dem Tischchen im Korridor blinkt der Anrufbeantworter. Guten Abend, Alex. Hier ist Mr. Boseman. Ich rufe an, um Ihnen mitzuteilen, dass Sie an diesem Wochenende bei der Arbeit benötigt werden. Deine gute Laune ist wie weggeblasen. Es sind neue Informationen bezüglich der wachsenden Spannungen zwischen unserer Nation und ausländischen Kräften ans Licht gekommen. Daher wird das Team der National Nightly News rund um die Uhr arbeiten, um sicherzustellen, dass wir als Erste mit der Story rauskommen. Es versteht sich von selbst, dass ich Sie morgen früh an Ihrem Arbeitsplatz erwarte, pünktlich um 8 Uhr. Einen schönen Abend noch, Alex. Der erste Schreck verwandelt sich in Ärger und dann in Zorn. Was wirst du Sam sagen? Dein Schatz kommt die Treppe herunter, strahlend vor Aufregung. Sam gibt sie einen Kuss, schnappt sich die Autoschlüssel vom Tischchen und macht sich daran, euer Gepäck ins Auto zu laden. Ignoriere die Nachricht, du brauchst dieses Wochenende. Entschuldige dich vielmals bei deinem Schatz und sag, dass du wirklich arbeiten musst. Bosemans Wutanfälle sind legendär. Tja, also, weißt du, mein Schatz hat jetzt natürlich die Arschkarte gezogen, weil hätten wir unserer Tochter einfach gesagt, wir haben das Geld nicht, würde ich jetzt nicht sagen, ich muss arbeiten, weil wir haben absolut gar kein Geld mehr. Tut mir leid. Du seufzt schwer. Du wirst hingehen, nicht wahr? Die Stimme in deinem Rücken lässt dich herumfahren. Du nickst nur. Ich verstehe dich. Deine Familie war immer deine erste Priorität, aber manchmal ist eben die Arbeit wichtiger. Du solltest gehen. Sam zieht dich an sich und hält dich fest im Arm. Eine Welle der Dankbarkeit durchströmt dich. Beim Auspacken herrscht enttäuschtes Schweigen. Ehren-Sam, echt so. Echt. Das hätte ja auch komplett austicken können. Tag 98, ein Zustimmungsformular. Dein Sohn Charlie blickt dir über die Schulter, während du liest. Strebst du nach immer mehr Leistung? Bist du ein aktives Mitglied des Teams? Liebst du es, die Früchte der Zusammenarbeit zu ernten? Schließ dich noch heute den Advanced Heart-Menschen an. Gemeinsam vorwärts. Das klingt gar nicht nach dem Jugendclub, von dem er dir erzählt hat. Charlie nimmt dir den Flyer aus der Hand und streckt dir ein Formular entgegen. Ich kann direkt von der Schule hingehen und Bens Schwester bringt uns danach nach Hause. Du musst also gar nichts tun. Du unterschreibst das Zustimmungsformular, damit dein Sohn den Advanced Heart Menschen beitreten kann. Du weigerst dich, das Formular für deinen Sohn zu unterschreiben. Wir weigern uns definitiv. Tut mir leid, mein Freund, ich halte das einfach nicht für den richtigen Ort für dich. Du reichst das Formular behutsam zurück. Was? Das ist total unfair. Warum? Ich weiß, dass es dir jetzt so vorkommt, Charlie, aber du wirst das bald verstehen. Tag 101. Ein kostenloses Ticket. Jemand von der Arbeit hat sie mir gegeben. Sie können nicht hingehen, erklärt Sam und hält dabei die 2 Tickets hoch. Du liest den fettgedruckten Titel. Alan James hat recht. Bewusstwerdung. Ich weiß nicht, was meinst du? Sollen wir hingehen? Gratis-Tickets sind Gratis-Tickets. Er ist eine Persönlichkeit und es sollte zumindest amüsant werden. Lieber nicht. Der Typ ist ein Spinner. Ja, gratis ist gratis, ne? Man muss nehmen, was man kriegen kann. Die Show ist unterhaltsam, aber bei weitem nicht so lustig wie erwartet. Er ist ein visierter Redner und irgendetwas hinterlässt Eindruck bei dir. Als du spät abends noch wach im Bett liegst, während Sams Atem schon lange ruhig und gleichmäßig geht, wird dir mit einem Schlag klar, was es war. Das Publikum. Es hat nicht gelacht, es hat gebrüllt. Tag 110. Eine profitable Partnerschaft. Als du nach einem besonders langen Arbeitstag nach Hause kommst, findest du die Post fein säuberlich in Stapel sortiert vor, wie Sam das in letzter Zeit immer macht. Das meiste davon ist der übliche Müll, aber ein Brief erregt deine Aufmerksamkeit. Darauf prangen das zunehmend vertraute Advance-Logo und die passenderweise in roten Lettern aufgedruckte Aufschrift »Dringend, sofort beantworten«. Du bringst das wohl am besten sofort hinter dich. Liebe Familie Winston, mit diesem Schreiben möchten wir Sie darüber informieren, dass die Advance-Regierung einen weiteren Schritt im Kampf für mehr Gleichheit gesetzt hat. Und zwar die Verstaatlichung der größten privaten Konzerne und die Verteilung von deren Ressourcen an die Bürger dieses großartigen Landes. Das Anleihenpartnerschaftsprogramm stellt sicher, dass vom Volk generierte Wertschöpfung auch dem Volk zugutekommt. Du erinnerst dich nicht, im Manifest darüber gelesen zu haben. Jeder Haushalt wird Partner von einer von 3 sorgfältig ausgewählten Einrichtungen, die von Advance für ihre durchgängig hohe Leistung und finanzielle Sicherheit gewählt wurden. Bitte beachten Sie, alle Ergebnisse basieren auf der öffentlichen Meinung und unterliegen keinerlei Garantie. Bitte wählen Sie eine der folgenden Optionen. ADB, Auge des Betrachters AG. Sei es Kosmetik, Kleidung oder Couture, wir sehen die Schönheit in allen unseren Kunden. Niels Dales GmbH, immer der beste Deal beim verrückten Neil. Genuss KG, Ihr Genuss ist unser Geschäft, ob Sport, Reisen oder einfach persönliche Wohlfühlzeit. Keine Freizeit ohne Genuss. So, also das hört sich ja schon ganz schön nach Kommunismus an. Ich würde dann... Sport und Reisen waren damals in der DDR auch ein Ding. Natürlich nur in kommunistische Partnerländer. Dafür hatten sie aber auch nicht so viel Kosmetik oder Couture. Ich nehme Genuss KG. Bei Genuss sehe ich mich. Da gibt es bestimmt auch Essen. Was zu essen. Vielen Dank für Ihre Auswahl. Bitte senden Sie das Formular im beiliegenden Umschlag zurück. Sie erhalten in 3 bis 6 Arbeitsmonaten einen Bericht über Ihre Partnerschaften. Anscheinend kann selbst Advanced den Sumpf der Behördenbürokratie nicht trockenlegen. Die Zukunft dieser Nation liegt in der Partnerschaft. Gemeinsam vorwärts. Julia Salisbury und Peter Clement. Wie viel Einfluss kann man haben? Ich bekomme bestimmt immer gute Nachtgeschichten vorgelesen. Tag 153. Wir müssen wieder arbeiten. Der Sturm. Ich muss bestimmt hier unten jetzt viel arbeiten.
Good evening, Alex. It's Bozeman here, your boss. While you're powering up and getting the adverts loaded, I thought I should just tell you that we've had one of those public information films from the government, and it's mandatory that you play it. You still have a free choice for the other 2, so read those tape labels carefully, but make sure you play the advance advert, preferably at the second break. That's the lot. Have a great show. Total pip. My God, that weather looks nasty.
Oh, how's it going with
Oh.
Steve?
Apparently he has a complicated relationship with his face.
No.
Sorry, I
Wieso ist alles dunkel?
Imaginary friend in the sky over you.
I don't know why I talk to you.
Ich hab's kaputt gemacht.
Our main story is tonight.
Uncooperative. A mysterious symbol has appeared overnight on thousands of buildings throughout the capital.
Tonight, in an exclusive live interview with Prime Ministers Julia Salisbury and Peter Clement, I'll be asking what this mysterious symbol might mean.
After 3 months of record-breaking approval ratings, could this be the daring first move of a
Ups.
silent resistance movement? And what would that mean as we go?
Es ist viel dunkler als sonst, oder?
Overcome. Trapped in Dante's taint for more than a month now, doctors Ingrid Svorsborg Horgensvord and David Wong announced today that they're considering 2 possible options.
With 2 of the finest minds in science working together, hopes are still high for the eventual return of the team to dry land.
Without enough engineers to successfully fix their craft, the team seem likely to attempt to farm the cavern's ecosystem while they wait for rescue from above ground. I think I'll stick to risotto, Jeremy.
Bearing their opinions, the formerly rich are fighting back with a naked protest.
Our very own Robin Short was on hand earlier today when this new protest group first presented themselves.
Spokesman Wentworth Somerset Bentley said today, "They've had the shirts off our backs. They might as well have the rest of it too." And while it's easy to laugh, perhaps we should all just be pondering how desperate the formerly rich are to regain their power.
Table for 2. Johnny Hamsleeves and Tiffany Lamour were spotted having a private moment out at lunch today.
The popular couple have certainly been on a roller coaster since they started dating late last year. And this image is sure to place them firmly back in the tabloids.
Could we be on the verge of the biggest celebrity wedding since professional wrestler Randy Grizzlenuts McFridge married his longtime tag team partner Tina Tiny Hands last year in a wrestling ring made entirely of cake?
Is this once celebrated role model about to become the bad boy of sport?
And onwards and upwards. In an attempt to put the Mr. Snugglehugs disaster behind them, Rimington's Fist CEO Sophia Rimington today announced a brand new product that already has the markets buzzing with interest.
This groundbreaking product came as quite a shock when it was revealed earlier today, though its critics are skeptical that the young CEO can fulfill her promises.
When only a Flard will do, you need the Flardmaster 5000. That's the slogan accompanying the announcement that has rocked the construction industry this morning. The breakthrough device for aiding in installation is sure to change the way we see the humble Flard.
With that exclusive prime ministerial interview coming up later,
And our very own Patrick Bannon coming to you live from the first annual Sports Board final.
You won't want to miss a second of tonight's National Nightly News.
First tonight, after the Christmas horror caused by Mr. Snugglehugs, we have an exclusive interview with one of the victims.
Poor 7-year-old Timmy Tadlock, like so many of those affected by the Christmas bloodbath, has spent the last 3 months undergoing a series of reconstructive facial surgeries.
Last week, joyfully, he spoke for the first time since the tragedy. Tonight, he talks to us.
Before we go to the interview, however, this station would like to issue a full and frank apology for any part we may have played in the tragedy. We should never have advertised Mr. Snugglehugs. Without our publicity, the sheer scale of this tragedy, and now upwards of 8,000 casualties, might have been averted.
On behalf of the Nightly News team, we're sorry.
In future, we will do better.
Now it's over to Robin Short at the Tadlock family home. Robin?
Thank you, Megan. I'm here with Mr. and Mrs. Tadlock and their 7-year-old son, Timothy. Thanks for spending time with us today.
Yes, well, you're bloody lucky we're spending any time with you at all, after what you lot did. Irresponsible. I mean, whose idea was this anyway?
It's all right. Wasn't your fault. As you can see, Megan, there's still a few open wounds here. I'll tread carefully. I'm going to speak to Timmy now. Hello, Timmy. Can you see me?
Mummy, who's that lady?
It's the lady from television, Timothy. She's going to ask you a few questions.
You be careful now, it upsets him to remember.
Don't worry, Mr. Tadlock. I wasn't the youngest ever editor of the Swinstead Middle School Inquirer for no reason. So, Timmy, can you tell us what happened to you? You had just unwrapped Mr. Snugglehugs, hadn't you? Was he under the tree?
Yes, I could smell him already. He smelled like love.
Ja, ich ignoriere euch nicht, ich bin einfach nur hochkonzentriert.
I was so excited. I ran up to my room and gave him a big hug. He was so soft and warm, like our cat, before he got in the way of Daddy's Porsche.
Bloody cat had a death wish.
And what did Mr. Snugglehugs say to you?
He blinked his real action eyes and said, "You're my very best friend." But I sure wish Mrs. Snugglehugs was here, and she can't be, for just $89.99. And then it said General Error 41.
And is that when he burst into flames?
Look, careful.
And then he exploded.
Oh, look, I've asked you nicely.
And am I right in saying that one of his real action eyes is now permanently embedded in your cheek?
Yes. When I took him in at night, it glows through bandages. I know it's under there, staring at me.
My God.
The other children have started calling him Timmy Three Eyes. And with his glasses, that's 5.
Too many eyes, Robin.
And what's the last thing you remember before the darkness overtook you?
He looked at me with his one eye and laughed. Laughed as he burned.
It sounds very traumatic. Do you have nightmares?
All right, that's quite enough of you two coming in here with your camera trying to make a buck out of our suffering. I won't have it.
Mr. Tadlock, just a couple more questions. Timmy, do you think you will ever be what we can call
No, you've had your
normal
questions,
again?
and now look. Oh, you've made him cry with all 3 of his eyes.
Calm down, do you think your parents will ever really love you again?
Right, that's it. Enough. Come on, Mr. Tadlock. No, your poster, your favourite poster. Timmy, are you okay? Ow.
So there you have it, Megan. Just one of the many victims.
Was passiert hier?
Tragedy that has shaken our nation.
I'm bleeding, am I not?
Thank you, Robin. Harrowing stuff.
And many questions to be answered by Sophia Remington in the coming days and months, I'd wager. How will she turn this crisis around?
So, Jeremy, what are the warning signs a consumer should look out for when they're spotting a dangerous toy?
Well, Megan, experts advise to always check for the new Advance mark, which guarantee a level of safety and quality.
Yeah, can we just get a close-up on camera 3 here. So if we take a look at this National Nightly News mug, you should see the mark just on the base of it there.
In the wake of the scandal, the government were praised for their swift response in bringing in this set of stringent checks and new products.
It certainly is good to know that someone's watching out for our families. When we come back, our very own Patrick Bannon will be live from the Sports Board Finals. Stick around, you won't want to miss it.
We'll be back after these messages.
1 minute back.
Oh, sorry, I'm bursting.
She's very good. Megan.
Yes, she is.
Watch your back, Jeremy. Women are coming.
I'm more worried about this water dipping into my head.
Wenn so ganz links schauen, ob da ein Stromkasten war.
Alex, Bozeman, we're getting reports in that naked protesters might try and spoil the
Kann ich nichts machen.
final by waving their fleshy bits about. Try and make sure you don't broadcast it. It's 6 p.m. for God's sake. No one wants to see fannies on the news. Bozeman out.
Vielleicht bleibt das jetzt einfach so dunkel. Warum sie die Kacktasse nicht auf den Tisch stellt, frage ich. Ja, warum die nicht vorher schon auf dem Tisch stand, sondern sie da erstmal unter den Tisch krauchen musste.
That's what it says.
Yes, I understand that, but I always say welcome back.
I think we should just keep it as it is.
Well, of course you do. I've got one hack line.
What's that supposed to mean? I didn't write it, Jeremy.
Chef muss Strom sparen. Wahrscheinlich, ja.
10 seconds.
Oh, I just felt a drip again. Have they not fixed this?
I want to see us fry. It's good for the ratings.
5, 4, 3.
Welcome back to the National Nightly News. I'm Megan Wolf. Coming up later, we'll be speaking to the Prime Ministers about their exciting new healthcare facilities, transition centres.
Nice to see you.
You're absolutely right, Jeremy. But first, we're going now to our own Patrick Bannon, who's reporting live from the finals of the new game that's gripping the nation, Sports Board. Patrick?
That's right, Megan. You join me live here from the final of the first annual Sports Board Championship. It's been a hotly contested competition so far. I think it's fair to say these two have been dancing around each other all season. First up, we have Eddie Striker. She's the more experienced of our two players today. Striker has got an accuracy of 7, a danger rating of K, and a 12-month driving ban. Striker's known for her signature move, the lanky hamster. And facing her tonight, hoping to prove himself with a career record of 12 outs, 14 finishes, and a divorce pending.
Was ist das schon wieder?
Tommy, the fingernail Harris. Just waiting on the ref now. The slapping ceremony is taking part. Still going on. And, Striker, of course, first to start as she won the trivia round earlier on by some margin. Harris, perhaps the brawn and not the brain. Stupid. Eddie Striker. Nice start there from Striker. She's determined not to let the nerves show. Not after last time.
Was passiert hier schon wieder?
On to Mr. Harris now. Tommy. Using his arm to pick up the ball. A bad shot there from Harris. Back to Striker for shots number 3. All right. She's gone to sort of throwing it under her legs. Not bad if you ask me. Was that contact? Don't know why you complain. To Harris. Bit of business with the ref, but it got sorted out. Back to Harris now. A ball in the hand is worth 2 in the bush. Football. Move back. I'd say that's fair, but what do I know? Oh no, and Harris is not going to be happy with that. So really not a good start there for Tommy Harris in round 1. We can only hope the round 2 treats him a bit better.
Passiert hier schon wieder, Leute.
But first, of course, after the argument with the ref section, it's time to change ends. Now we have the ceremonial changing of the ends. And of course, now they go back to the starting positions, as that makes sense. Striker giving it large. Second round, Harris. Winter round 2 now with Harris. Okay, we seem to have some sort of streak on the pitch. I apologise if we broadcast any of that stuff. She appears to have slogans across her breasts and arse. Try and ignore all of that. Security, I'm sure we're going to take them out as soon as possible. Apologise if we broadcast any of that. As I said, we're going to get the situation resolved as soon as possible. They're trying to carry on play, but it's proving a bit difficult, and I'm struggling to follow. Because it's quite an eyesore, and women's bodies, yeah. All right, great. Okay, so back into round 2 now, and Harry's absolutely determined to close that massive gap. Steady striker. No, it's just some of the tightest play I've seen ever. Harris. And was that the fitted thumb screw? We haven't seen that since the heats. What a brilliant move. Back to striker. And we know what that means, ladies and gentlemen. That is, of course, the ground sound. Excellent bit of play here on both sides of the bucket.
Geht's dem Schiri gut?
I don't know about you at home, but I'm finding the technical mastering display here absolutely blooming jaw-dropping. The ref has spotted something in Harris's neck or head. And Harris is having an absolute shocker. What a miserable start there for Tommy Harris. But he is a late bloomer, of course, the boys said that. And after all, it is a game of two halves. 4 rounds, 7 subs. But now, of course, it's time for the half-time show. Sponsored by Remington Smith.
On my whistle.
Nice piece of music here to start the half-time show. Okay, another posh protester loose on the court here. We can only apologise for that. We'll do our best to shield you from having to look directly at it. Is running around here with his genitals on display for all to see. And ruining what was shaping up to be quite the dance interlude there. Now he's thrusting himself in Harris's face. Security's on it. And the bucket's been knocked over.
Nicht in die Totale. Nicht in die Totale.
Hopefully he'll get taken out now. Genitals flying around for all to see. Really, if you ask me, not Sunday morning television. And out of there, hopefully taken away, never to be seen again.
Final poses. Oh boy, cannot be in the final pose.
And a lovely finish there on both sides of the bucket. I wouldn't like to call that one. And as we head into round 3, I'd love to know what's going on in these two players' heads. But unfortunately, because of science, we can't.
Thank you.
Not bad. So that ball boy's giving me the eye.
Ich weiß auch nicht, was hier passiert, Leute.
Striker there, not a great start. She looks a bit flustered, I think, after all that swinging around.
Ich weiß nicht, was hier passiert.
Back to Harris here. God, what I wouldn't give to be that ball. Am I right, ladies? Tommy Harris. And it dribbled down his arm, which is actually a really good move, because, of course, if it dribbles down his arm and goes on the floor, it's not going in the bucket. Back to striker. And striker's gone for the animal bonus there, but of course, perhaps... And yes, Harris has counted with a tiny bell. That is wonderful play. Of course, we've seen that before. Look at her face. She is absolutely gutted. What a mud. That could have been the clincher. What a massive shame.
Harris receives possession now.
Harris to serve now. Harris, of course, undefeated by Kestrel in his last 4 battles. So,
Es ist ein Fiebertraum.
Tommy Harris. That's all right. Not bad there. He threw it quite far away from him, which is quite a good idea. Very clever there. Perhaps a little contact. A caution from the referee, who's being, if you ask me, a little bit harsh. Ellie Striker. And she's let the nerves get to her. What the hell was that? You hate to see it, don't you? You cannot believe it. Oh, for God's sake. Okay, like, I mean, this is a mess now. I don't know what I can be doing about this. I mean, sort of breasts and genitals for all to see. I mean, there's only so much I can do. They're sort of everywhere, aren't they? All right, I'll try and carry on. The players are trying to carry on, but of course it's difficult because these protesters hopefully we can get them taken off soon so we can carry on with the match. Nonsense is going on here. Yes.
We want our money.
Yes, very good. Take them away. Bloody wasters. Absolute wasters. Oh, jog on! An absolute bloody...
Ja, noch 2,5 Minuten, Leute. Ich hoffe einfach, dass es schnell vorbeigeht.
Nice imaginary shot there from Harris. It really could go in there at this point. Really high-level play here from 2 absolute juggernauts of the sport. Hold. The bucket getting moved back to its proper place. About time, if you ask me. She's juggling it around from her hands. Interesting. And she's put it in her mouth like as if it was an egg. And now she's and she spat it out. She did the egg spit. So a wonderful move there, quite late on from a striker. But she's in it to win it.
Harris's ball.
On it like a car bonnet. Tommy Harris here, having a bit of beef. And he's peeling it as if it were a banana, which is an interesting move. Not sure if he hasn't had his potassium or what's going on today with Harris. And he's throwing it, and the banana was the ball! What a fantastic move there from Harris. Unfortunately, that is the end. What a pathetic, there we go, Jeremy, that is over. How can he look his 8-year-old son in the face tonight? What a lump. We just have to wait for the referee now to announce it to make sure it is all official.
Contestants in, please. And the winner of the first annual Sports Board Championship is
everyone! Okay, the ref has decreed once again a win for everyone, including me as my 15th win in the Sports Board Championship. I'm going to be celebrating tonight with my wife and children. Another wonderful victory for me. Here come the on-site security to collect their medals, their 6th and 7th respectively. And thanks again for watching the Sports Board Championship. What more is there to say? I'm Patrick Bannon. Looking forward to celebrating tonight. And all that's left to say, Jeremy, is back to you in the studio.
Patrick Bannon there had an extraordinary final.
Historic sports board, Jeremy.
I didn't know you were a fan.
Oh, yeah, I can wrench a doubler with the best of them, I'll have you know.
I certainly wouldn't bet against you.
When we come back, I'll be talking live with Prime Ministers Julia Salisbury and Peter Clement, who apparently have a big announcement you wouldn't want to miss.
That's coming up after these messages.
1 minute back.
Fucking microphone shocked me. Fucking microphone just shocked me. Where's that sound guy?
Everything okay?
Oh, the mics are just trying to kill us now, apparently.
You'll be fine. You're unshockable.
I'm immune to your cheap flattery.
I'm wearing
Was zum...
Boozman again. Just heard from the chaps in maintenance that this storm is causing the odd power surge, and some of your controls might be a bit, dangerous. Now, I know you're tough, and you can take the odd shock for the sake of a perfect news broadcast, but too many in quick succession can
Wie beruhigend.
I'm sure you'll make the right decisions. Boozman out.
We seem to have sprung a leak. Well, several, actually.
You're going to need a whole new lining up there. Triple C.
We'll look into it.
Minister, it's so good to see you again.
Das wird ja immer besser hier. Schlimm ist, das Programm war dem Ende vom MTV inhaltlich recht ähnlich. Ja, das stimmt tatsächlich.
Am I here? Here, with Mr. Clement on your left.
Right you are, pet.
Is your seat down?
10 seconds, everybody.
No, mine's fine. Have you had a little accident?
Cheeky cow.
5, 4, 3.
Welcome back. I am delighted to be joined by Prime Ministers Julia Salisbury and Peter Clement. Welcome to the National Nightly News, Prime Ministers.
Oh, please, it's just Julia and Peter.
We don't believe much in titles. It doesn't seem very advanced.
We're delighted to be here.
Well, firstly, I should ask how you feel about the graffiti that's been springing up across the capital. Should we be worried?
Oh, no, you definitely shouldn't be worried.
Well, not unless you've got a fatal paint allergy anyway.
But yes, it does seem that there are still some people we haven't been able to help.
You know, whingers.
People who've yet to benefit from the many advantages of the new future.
And you know, Megan, as my old mum used to say, there are some pissants who just don't know how to be happy.
We're working hard to reach these people, find out what they're angry about and how we can help. The door to my government is always open.
Someone's tripping on me.
But we didn't come here to talk about what may yet turn out to be some alternative arts project.
Which we no doubt will have funded.
When we want to talk to the nation about something far more exciting.
Yes, your office briefed us that you have an announcement to make, but they were being surprisingly secretive about it.
Let me ask you a question, Megan.
Oh, okay, it's not usually how it works, but...
What scares you? I mean, really scares you?
It's death, Pet. She's talking about death.
We're all afraid of our deaths. It's part of being human.
Sorry, are you saying that advance have cured death?
That'll be a vote winner. Yep, that was definitely a drop there.
But while we may not have cured death, we hope we found a way to make it much less scary.
And much less painful and much less expensive. Look, which is me close-up camera?
Oh,
there?
sorry, it's camera 4 right
When I was 13, my mum came and got me from school. He had to go to the hospital. My granddad, he'd collapsed that morning, so we'd all to say our goodbyes. And I went in to see him. He were all frail and pale. And I was scared because I'd only seen him the week before, and he'd been fit as fiddle. And he said to me, Peter, he said, it's the right time. I don't ever want to be a burden to the people I love.
Was that the last time you saw him?
Nope, 3 days later he were back home. He lived with us for 9 miserable years after that. He had to be fed with a rubber spoon. He had a commode, so he'd just take a shit right there in the lounge while we were watching TV. He wouldn't even wait till half time.
That sounds...
It was awful. It was awful for us, and this is the point. It was
Ja, entschuldigen Sie, ich musste zensieren?
destroying me man, watching him slowly fade away, and he would beg her to turn off his breathing equipment at night, but she couldn't, or she wouldn't. It were a crime, you see, and she didn't want to lose the children as well as her old man.
No family should have to suffer like Peter's did. And now no family will have to. The health service is today opening the first of 300 new transition centres.
The transition centres will handle everything for your last days. The legal, financial, medical and emotional costs are all catered for and paid for by the government. So even the poorest citizen gets to pass on with dignity when they choose.
And that choice is important. This is a service only for people who choose it. For people who feel they've run their course and don't want to burden themselves or their families with a slow, long, humiliating decline.
He's just given me an electric shock.
Are you okay?
I don't know. I think it fried my asshole.
Oh, we're still on the air, Peter.
Yes, sorry. My apologies. Oh.
Are you not worried that this new system might be open to abuse?
In what way?
Sorry, I've got sapped again. Can I get a little bit of help here, please?
That the older generation might feel somewhat...
Jesus, face, fucker. That one was massive.
Sorry, that the older generation might feel somewhat coerced.
Coerced into spending their final days eating gourmet food and drinking fine wine.
Oh, die haben Plätze gewechselt. Oh mein Gott.
Look, I am perfectly capable of... with a rusty twat.
Prime Minister, please watch your language.
Go get yourself sorted out.
Right.
We're launching a government information film tonight. It should tell your viewers everything they need to know.
You really do move at a breathless pace. It's hard to believe you've yet to be in office a year.
Oh, Megan, we're only getting started.
And on that note, thank you both so much for being here. Jeremy.
Right, yes, that's all we have time for tonight.
Hallo Game, Blastinator. Vielen Dank für deinen Follow und herzlich willkommen.
To all the winners at the Sports Board final. We'll see you tomorrow night at the same time. My name is Jeremy Donaldson. If you can, have a peaceful night.
And we're out. Good job, everybody.
Oh mein Gott. Ich glaube, ich krieg noch einen Herzinfarkt hier. Mir geht's wohl nicht mehr so gut. Ja, die Blonde hat ein bisschen was von der Ein Tisch auf Wodka-Meme-Frau. Oh my goodness. Übertragung abgeschlossen, neue Herausforderung freigeschaltet. Ja, ich habe am Anfang ein bisschen verkackt, okay? Weil ich das mit dem Strom nicht ganz hingekriegt habe. Kann ich doch auch nichts für. Dass ich nicht wusste, schaltet er jetzt an, aus? Ja, nein, vielleicht. Mann. Deinen vollen Lohn. Aktuelles Vermögen. Lähmende Schulden. Hey, aber immerhin wissen wir jetzt wieder, was Geld ist. Anleihen, PC. Ich weiß nicht mehr, was wir hatten. Genuss. Irgendwas mit Genuss. Ich weiß nicht, wie die aussehen. Was ist das? Aber nach oben. So, Leute. Wir sind jetzt gerade an einer Stelle angekommen, wo wir speichern und beenden können. Tatsächlich. Ich weiß nicht, wann das nächste Mal die Möglichkeit dazu bekomme. Oh Gott, nee, ich kann das nicht.